Well,
Well, we're gonna go ahead and get started, and hopefully, if they're coming, or shall I wait?
Get this started.
no.
Marcy, you got a spare pen?
Yes,
Here, any spare pens at home?
I do.
Thank you. I'll come prepared.
I always have spare pens.
Oh, you're good.
It's probably
Okay.
from Box Elder
Alright,
we
Creek.
Yes.
Oh, no, we're okay. We like to elevate credit union folks.
I was here earlier and I ran into Steve, and I know they're in a meeting to figure out a way to deal with negotiations, even though legally they don't know if they can or not. So I think they're trying to wrap up, but I think I get
Yeah.
started.
I think let's rock and roll, right?
To remind them.
Okay, and I guess we can catch them up if they have a question about something, but I think we talked about mostly everything at our executive committee meeting, so hopefully they'll be good. Welcome, everybody. A special welcome. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself so we all know who you are.
I'm Seth. I'm just helping with the IT here today.
Thank you. We appreciate your time. And we also want to welcome Jeff Shaw. He's a new member of the board.
Yeah. Excited to be here.
You're-
Class of '86, Box Elder High School.
Okay, 84.
84?
Bear River, though.
Oh, yeah. We'll
So I
take
know how
Bear-
old you are.
We'll take Bear River, yeah. Anyway, happy to be here. I've known Marcy for, well, since we were kids. And she's terrific. So I work for Wasatch Peaks Credit Union down in Ogden. We have a branch in Pleasant View. We have a lot of members up here. We work with, Members First and Elevate, and I actually know Neil. Neil's my neighbor. Anyway, we serve on boards for Weber and Ogden and Davis School District Foundations, and so we wanted to be more involved up here. So you drew the short straw and you got me.
And we're sure grateful, so thank you.
Don't worry,
You-
I heard you were working here.
You've had a good example about service, so, or examples, I should
Yes, I
say.
am, yes, I am.
Not singular, but welcome, everybody. We're gonna start out today with just a quick Jubilee of Trees updates by our committee members.
Do you wanna?
Oh,
accept
first of
the
all,
agenda?
we need to accept the agenda and this. So we need a motion to accept the meeting agenda before we proceed.
I'll make a motion to accept the meeting agenda.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Also, I'm just gonna send this around because you'll wanna see the picture that is with it. Just got a thank you note from Golden Spike Elementary, the PE para there. One of the teacher project goals was some pickleball equipment for their PE program. So, if you wanna look at, she sent some pictures along with this, so. Kind of fun where we're gonna talk about teacher projects today to see how one of them went, so. Okay, let's go with our Jubilee of Trees update there.
We need to get more members on the committee.
You're looking for more
Yeah.
members on the committee?
And I need to find out where we can get tables and chairs to use at the fairgrounds.
How many tables and chairs are you looking at?
Well, they just have the chamber banquet out there where they get their tables and chairs. Call Monica the chamber.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I don't know where they got them, but it was in the paper. The chamber had their big annual banquet.
But they had it out at the fairgrounds?
Out at the fairgrounds.
Mm.
So they had to have a ton of tables.
I have round tables for 100 and chairs for 100
For how many,
at the barn.
how many will sit at a table?
8,
8, okay.
comfortably. They're the big, like they're taller than me.
Big lifetime ones, is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what we have is 8 to a table, don't we? So.
Yes.
So if you don't find some, you're welcome
Okay.
to.
But I'll-
We also have, I know that when they had a concert at the arena a while back,
Mhm.
Lee Greenwood, somehow I got asked and we took chairs from Harris. We took them there and they took and cleaned them
Oh, that's
after.
right.
So
Mhm.
it is possible, but they are tables, they're more rectangle tables.
Yeah,
They're not
yeah.
like what she
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
So chairs, we could,
Get those.
Yeah, we could-
Okay, I'll find out first from,
Yeah, call Monica Holdaway at
at
the
the chamber.
chamber office, cause they
Okay.
just, and that's a big banquet. So all were the chamber members, and now Tremont and Brigham have formed one.
Yeah, they're
chamber
one, yeah, they're together.
For the whole county,
Mhm.
so somewhere they came up with
Okay.
all the tables and chairs.
Any specific needs for the members, like, are you looking for,
That's sorry, but Gary's
Oh.
too shy to say this. We have the Boys and Girls Club.
he
Day.
just doesn't wanna be on this list.
Well, they always
No.
have the Boys and Girls Club fundraiser out there, and they have round
They
tables
have.
too.
Oh, we could
And
ask
that's coming
them.
up
Mm.
in a month, isn't it? We've talked about that in here, I think, June, so we can find that out from where they're getting them to. Thanks, Gary.
You're welcome. You haven't
Do you need me to
invited
say
to
anything
that.
else? I didn't need for that for 2 years.
Superintendent?
Yes.
We're on camera.
Okay,
That's an owl, and so.
which way's the point right now?
It
Whoever's
points at the
talking.
voice.
All directions.
I'm telling you, sir, just.
360 degrees.
Robert told us that when you got here.
Oh, I should have lost it. I wouldn't have said anything different.
I know.
Oh, boy.
Oh, are you looking for any specific kind of help? I guess that's what I'm asking, like decorating or any talent that you're looking for in
Oh, all
specifically?
talents.
Any kind? Okay,
Basically, what we need is contacts for, someone, because I don't know a lot of people up here that can contact, businesses. Once we start going around to the businesses asking for, trees and baskets and that type of stuff. And then once we get people together, then we'll kind of get committees, different committees together, so.
okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Okay, let's talk about the scholarships while you're on camera.
Well, they're all, if you turn the page on the agenda, these are all the scholarships that were awarded. There's still, 9, Marcy, that weren't awarded? So, what do you do?
Oh, wow.
I mean,
No one applied?
No one applied.
Are they really specific? That's really specific, just,
Some of them were.
Some of them were. Like the Wanda Larson is fairly specific. The Craig Richards is for, automotive. And they finally added diesel as well. The Sandra and Brian McDougal is for Bridgerland specifically. The Oddfellows is for, a single parent
single
household.
parent, yeah.
Mhm. And Hanson Motor, we're not sure what they're gonna do with that one. Counseling is counseling, and Brigham Heating and Cooling. We've had that for 4 years now,
Yeah.
and nobody has applied
It's a
yet.
great scholarship.
So,
and it's for
and it's a-
counties,
yeah.
Everybody else doesn't have one.
So,
it's specific to HVAC.
it is, it's specific to HVAC at Ogden Weaver Tech. And they actually go do classes at Sunrise, or they go
They go there to,
at Sunrise, and so they were hoping that some of those Sunrise kids would apply. But, so,
So Marcy, it seems like I reviewed some for that Longfellows. Did anybody apply and not meet the requirements, or there just not any? I can't remember. It seems like
I don't think
looked
we
at
did
some
this
of
year.
Not this year, okay.
Mm-mm.
I had before though, right?
Yes,
There have been some.
uh-huh. And they actually called and said, to ask how much money they have in their endowment, which they're earning more than they're giving out, so they raised the amount this year. It will be 2,000 instead of 1,500. So, and they do a 2-year. So students can come back the second year and get another 2,000.
2,000 for 2 years. And nobody applied.
Right.
And,
Well, it has to be a single parent household,
oh,
and
but they'd be the ones out scrambling generally.
for the money.
But they'll give them a job
Yeah.
while they're going to school. At their,
Okay.
Brigham
And
Heating.
it says in their, they have a page that they've written a bunch on, it says an orphan, but they said single parent household works. so.
Well, Ben, may I ask, when you, you're the one that's met with, what do we call him, that counselor, the college counselor, not, you know, we have, the state for the last 3 years has funded what they call a college.
Access advisor, yes.
Certainly, they've known about all this list,
Yes,
and they should
yes.
be just talking to
They're
kids
posted in both high schools.
like crazy.
I
And I
emailed
can even
them
tell you
specifically.
personally, as a counselor, I've begged students to apply. Every year I've worked in our district, some of these scholarships have gone unclaimed. And you can tell every senior, every year that, and it's crazy to me that they still go unapplied for.
They go to school for a year and then they come back and say, now can I apply?
Yeah, they do.
Well, and I feel
Maybe
the other
even
one.
in December.
Yes, exactly, this is more
Yeah,
expensive than.
that's the thing, then we got other people that we have to gauge, well, they've already got this one and that one, and they're getting a presidential scholarship already,
And
so.
they're getting an academic scholarship all the way to college, and they get all of these scholarships because they apply for 3 or 4.
I feel we reach out to a bunch on scholarship nights. We
Oh,
talk
yeah,
to a lot of kids.
We do,
and
we talk
pass
to a lot
out
of parents.
Yeah, and we pass out that QR code that they can,
Yep, we
but
do.
again, what they do after they leave,
Yeah.
they act interested.
Okay, well, thank you, and we appreciate everyone taking time to
Yes.
add up your scores, because that takes a minute to read through all those.
Yes, thank you.
So, thank you. Okay, Tom and Marcy, and I don't know if Jeff's involved with this, or just Tom and Marcy, Skyway Golf Tournament,
He will be after I retire.
okay. Coming his
Marcy and
way.
I are already, we're working together.
Yes. Jeff already
I
brought
brought
me some
chapstick,
Oh, there you go.
to go in the good dad.
we ordered golf balls
Mhm.
and tees, so our credit union orders a bunch of this stuff for tournaments, and so I think it's cheaper and easier, so Marcy gave me the designs, and those should be in the next couple weeks, Marcy, and so
Great.
golf balls for both tournaments, and what do we go with? Do we go with red tees and yellow tees? Red tees out to
Yes.
Bear River, yellow tees for Box Elder, and so anyway, yeah,
Thank you.
so you,
And they made a pretty sizable donation a couple of weeks
yeah, so that was exciting,
to the foundation.
awesome, anyway,
Yeah.
Any amount of.
that's cool. It's $12,500.
That's
Yeah.
relatively sizable.
Yeah.
For us, there's no-
So we did,
It's a chunk of
anyway,
change.
and is this Steve?
Yes,
You're the superintendent?
Yes.
So I'm Jeff Shaw.
Nice to meet you.
His boy,
okay.
class of '86. I know Keith real well, I'm neighbors with Neil over here, Marcy and I grew up together. Anyway, we're just happy to be here, and that, a lot of those funds came from a grant from the Federal Home Loan Bank that we were able to apply for, and Weber and Ogden School Foundation and Box Elder School Foundation, so that was pretty cool.
And we double dipped it, we did one too with the
I was
matching
just gonna
grant, so
say,
yeah.
yes,
awesome.
Bank
You
of
did-
Utah
you
did
did
it as
Yeah,
well.
don't
Nice.
tell the Federal Home Loan Bank that,
I don't think they care.
Yeah.
I really don't, so that's awesome, so.
Great.
I have to sit between the banker and the.
Oh, is that, that's Bank of Utah. Hello. No,
I feel like bankers roll over there.
Matt Nelson.
Oh, Matt, nice to meet you.
I with your sister back in.
Oh, Tiffany.
So, yeah.
Sure.
So, good to meet you.
Anyway, so whatever help I can be, yeah, I'll help out with tournaments and.
Yeah, and we'll keep hitting up the Federal Home Loan Bank.
That's
every
awesome,
year.
I'm glad you guys did that, awesome.
Two of us combined, it's like Shazam.
I'm glad.
So what do you need from us for the golf tournament coming up this?
Well, and I've run into more opposition this year than I have in the last 3 years. Many that I've gone into, they say, you know, we're just not sure where this economy's headed, we don't know what's gonna happen, we're kind of tightening up our
Right.
money bag a little bit, and like CNR, he says, yeah, our trailers are assembled in the US, but the refrigerators come from China, and the water heaters come from China, and the water pumps come from China, and he says, if this doesn't get resolved, we're gonna be in a world of hurt. We need, I don't know, how many teams we up to now?
I did not look at it today, but I got a few more while I was gone this last week, and
Do you have a deadline for when you're needing that in, the team?
Yeah, the 22nd.
Yesterday? Kents might be able to pull
We
it
can-
together.
we
Might
can-
pop a couple more in, so.
We can, take them right up to about the day before,
Okay.
as long as it's a team. For the sponsors, I can't get the signs that quick, but teams we can take.
Yeah.
You're
Right up
hurting
there.
for sponsors right now, right?
And what?
You're hurting for sponsors more so than teams?
No, we need some teams.
Okay.
But we'll take
We could use
any,
both.
actually, when you take out the cost of the, I mean, it's $500 for a team to play. And by the time you take out the cost of the golf course, the cost of the golf carts, the cost of the Maddox lunch, we almost make as much off a whole sponsor as we do a team. Because golf cart is pricey, if you gotta rent the whole golf course and, 100 golf carts and then a Maddox lunch, so,
Which we get a
we'll take
huge
sponsors,
discount on.
But we're,
Do you have all your whole sponsors?
No,
You could probably put Kent's down for a whole sponsor.
okay.
and for this point in time, we're well behind in teams. And I've been out roaming out there for 2 or 3 days and got a couple of whole sponsors and a couple of prizes for,
Go look at all the ones that are on those gold tee boxes. I was selling for the guy years ago when he was doing that. Those have been up there for free for 15 more years. They're still there, cause the guy went out of business, so go hit them up and say, hey.
Your name's still up
and
there.
so, if you know anybody in the golfing community, I mean, we've taken flyers to the golf course, we've taken flyers up to the Brigham City Golf Course to try and let the golfers know when and what we're doing. Brian Walker has been helping me. We approved him as a board member, but his wife is extremely ill and he can get away for a couple hours and that's about it, so. But he's connected, he was sales manager at Hanson Chevrolet. And so he's contacting the car dealers. I think he got Heritage to do Brigham, but they wouldn't do Tremont.
Which is okay, as long as we get them.
And,
Dad, I can hit up the 2 credit unions here,
yeah,
members first, I know Megan's on the.
Members versus doing
They're doing a
whole
team?
sponsors.
Oh, whole sponsors, what
Uh-huh.
about Elevate, you ever get?
Elevate's on
Elevate
that.
is doing whole
Scott,
sponsors.
does Scott do that? Okay.
Mhm.
I'll talk to Golden West, they have a branch up here.
They are doing whole sponsors and on the,
The putting contest.
and they do the putting
No
contest
team?
at the,
I'll talk to Carrie and see if we can get a team. America First,
sounds good.
are they doing
America
anything?
First is, they are, yep, they're doing a
Good.
team and Jubilee Trees, so.
Oh, nice, nice.
And what's the other one in Ogden that helped us one time? They're on our
Ascent.
list.
Mhm.
Ascent.
Jeff
Brock,
got 'em
Brock
to-
Mortensen, I can talk to Brock.
Yeah.
They
check.
are doing, I think you did
Oh.
talk to them,
Well,
cause
yes,
they
that's,
contacted me.
so they contacted, oh, good,
Uh-huh.
good. I'll get a
Yes.
hold of Corbett Austin,
Yeah.
I'll get a hold of Corbett down there at the Storm Bowling
I've
Products.
tried to get in there and I've been unsuccessful.
I know that.
I mean, we went to grade school together, that's how Corbett.
Yeah, you went to
He
grade
needs
school,
to,
yeah.
he needs to own me up.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody ever reached out to Scott Parson at Staker Parson?
I talked to
Gary, you
him.
should, yeah, you.
Yeah, now that they're, Old Castle, it's just a whole different deal.
Gotcha.
So, but I will reach out to Scott, and
Okay.
then I'm working with my son on his company that he works for, but Parsons did
They did a team 1 year.
1 year when I reached out to Scott.
I'll hit Scott too, just as a.
It might be better if you talk to Scott.
And he and I have been
I
talking.
wanna get to the next family dinner, I don't want to have family.
No, I get it.
Okay.
Well, Scott's a golfer too, I mean, you know.
Well, yeah, and I
So-
think it's just so much different with Old Castle, they just don't have the money like they used to do
I'll
something.
reach out to Scott.
What about John? We got it, they just won't share.
Who?
Johnny Herrick.
Oh, yeah, Johnny's,
His
yeah.
wife's family have the food company.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Has Whitaker's put anything
Yeah.
out so far?
Whitaker's hasn't ever done the Tremont, but they do the Brigham one.
They have the, yeah. the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, we'll just keep plugging for the next couple of.
And I think you're experiencing a sign of what the economy is, you know, just, everybody is kind of,
Uncertainty.
yes.
Marcy, how many teams can you do out there this Skyway?
we do a morning and an afternoon, and they only have 36 carts, so we don't double up on every hole,
Gotcha.
cause we use
We
a
can
couple
usually
carts.
do about 23
Total.
in the morning and, cause they got
36 cars.
36 carts, if they're
So
all
you-
working.
And so that's only 18, right? That's only 18
Mhm.
foursomes.
Yeah,
Or
so
18
we try
teams,
to
which
do,
is nine.
we try to do 16, just to make sure
Okay,
we're okay, and then, put a few in the afternoon.
okay.
And we have some who will only play in the afternoon, which is good, and so.
Remind me of the cost of a hall sponsor.
$250.
Last year, I think we had 22 or 23 teams
Yeah,
last year.
Out to Tremont.
Mhm.
Okay.
and we have talked with, and Jeff has brought it up a little bit, that we probably need to raise our prices too, so.
Well, it's hard, I mean, you know, the tournaments that we sponsor down there, for the Weaver Foundation and the Ogden Foundation, they're quite a bit more expensive, they're like 1,200 to 1,500 a team. But they've been going for a long time, and so I think that, you know, over time, but you could build that up. Right now with the economy, it is tough, even at 500 is what you're seeing, but, I think there's opportunity to get, and it's dependent on businesses, right? Like, just, you know, you're not gonna take me and Ryan and Tyler for $500, and so,
Yeah.
I think we could build that up over time. I think we can, do you guys get repeat sponsors for both tournaments? Or is it?
Yeah.
Yes, in fact, we have, I think this year we have more,
Okay, cause I think it's great,
Large
you're the only
sponsors.
one that I know of that runs 2 tournaments,
Yeah.
right? Like the other ones just run one big one. I think it's cool that you have one out in Tremont and then one here. I think that's, you
Well,
know,
we've had that discussion before, should we drop that one and just have
Have
one?
one big one.
Big one at Brigham, but
we would lose a couple of,
would you?
yeah,
Yeah.
teams.
we still have the Mason-Dixon one.
Oh, of course, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna play those Bear River
Your class
class.
of 86 Fox Elder,
Oh, yeah?
I'm 86 Bear River.
Oh, man, right there,
Okay.
throw down, right there.
There is a
Okay.
line.
We beat you in basketball, you guys beat us in football.
You remember?
I remember. But I think there might be someday, you know, if you had one big one where you weren't, you know, you have, you know, the expenses are split, but you can't quite fill each one. If you could fill one big one and you could get $1,000 a team, and you could really up your prizes and your goodie bags and things like that that businesses like, I think, you know, maybe someday. But,
It's
yeah.
a goal to work towards.
What I'm running into out on the street, I think we ought to keep that in the back of our mind, but I don't think this is the year to raise prices.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I agree, no, we're not, we've already got it out there.
I wouldn't,
And have you posted it and I missed it? Okay, so I just need to follow that.
I need to,
and if
Maybe
you've
I haven't.
got contacts,
What about Davis and Bott? Davis and Bott do anything?
yeah.
they have,
Okay.
we had Ted from Davis and Bott on our board, and he just asked to be taken off, and so we don't have our contact at Davis and Bott now, so.
About Mike or the mayor from Davis and Bott. Or no,
He's not.
they're not Davis and Bott,
Uh-uh.
it's Brandon.
I used to
Brandon, I
know them
think.
all, but they've all left.
Well, yeah, I don't know if he's still there, he was
Well, I could still contact
He's
he was
Ted.
in the chamber with
Find
me.
out.
Brent Hollingsworth,
Can't think of his
all
name.
the guys I knew there are gone, I don't even know who's there anymore.
I'll still contact Ted
One of the
see if
things
they'll do a
that,
team. He said they're happy to sponsor.
I don't know if I even know any of them. Oh, I don't.
One of them, that's one of the accountants, one of the CPAs, really a good guy, but he really supports us on the ATV ride. Son was a golfer, state champion golfer not too many years ago, but I know him by face, but I forgot the name, but there are still some good people that wanna help, but Clark gives a lot in other things
Yeah,
at the,
We
most
have
of the
a,
box
another
elder.
agreement with Clark right now for the school district for a donation, so he's probably not interested in this right now.
but I got a few prizes, I got some from IFA, I got some from Greer Hardware, dropped off half a dozen flyers of people that have given before and said, well, leave the flyer and let us think about it, I'll get back to you, and I haven't heard from them. So, we might be in, because we're not gonna do, when we get into the ATV ride, it'll be quick and sure, we're not gonna do any prizes at the ATV ride. Because you're gonna run into trouble
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
September when you go and say, well.
You just did yours.
And we haven't really done much in the way of prices there anyway, but most people are saying, you know, the price is so low, you're just happy to come for the ride and then lunch.
So we
Yeah,
gotta,
so-
gotta be careful about
And we buy enough of a little goodie bag to send
three
with them
people
too.
go into IFA every 30 days asking for a prize basket or whatever. So, we can use donations, we can use whole sponsors, we can, teams, if you want flyers, Marcy can get you a golf flyer. I've left them around, I probably left 10 or 12 out in Tremont. I did hear back from US Title, which I left one at, but haven't heard back from anybody. They just said,
Okay,
leave it, we'll talk about it, and I'll get back to you. So, well, and Caldwell Banker did call me and say they would be a sponsor. So we'll, I think we'll be a little shy of what we did last year, but we'll still make some, money.
I'll reach out to David Yates at Davis and Bott. He's one of their partners. He's big in, he's helped with the alumni tournament forever and ever and ever.
Right.
okay,
If you wanna hit him up too, but I know David.
okay, I don't
So,
know him, so.
He's one of their, he's the only partner that I recognize. A lot of them, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm old now and they've all left, but, I thought Flint Hollingsworth is gone and of course Clark and Brady and those guys, so.
It was Brandon Broadhead is who,
That's the one.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's listed here. He's one of
Is
the
he still
partners.
there?
That, he's been really good on the ATV ride.
Okay.
He was in the chamber with me just when I was in
Okay.
there, so.
Be nice to get one of them back on the board, I guess, right?
it would. Mhm.
Yeah.
He's a great.
And they've said they've always wanted somebody on the board, but, you know, Ted just had a
Lots to
Paige
do.
had a baby and they
Yeah.
just, yeah, so.
So we can
Okay.
all be mindful in helping to find some whole sponsors and baskets. And then that day you'll send out, or this week, you'll send out a spreadsheet, a sign-up sheet
It'll
for us
probably be next week.
next week, okay? All right,
Yes, I will, to sign up to help. And I do have the district office people come out too, so
and they're amazing, we
I
appreciate it.
appreciate it all.
Okay, ATV ride, Tom?
we're set for June 7th. We're gonna meet at 8 o'clock on the west side of the fairgrounds. I guess they're doing something on the east side, Eldon said, I don't know. So, we'll meet on there, we're going to Snowville, we're gonna roam around the West Desert, right across the rail trail, railroad bed. And they have several markers along there that talk about the construction, go down to the Kelton Pioneer Cemetery and down around the Hog Up Mountains and back up the
Is
other
you
way.
grab us while you're up there? Take a 22s?
We went out, we went out
You didn't learn
there,
that.
and Gary and I rode out there, and we went 100 miles. All around, we used to go rabbit hunting out there, and you could take a 500 brick of shells and shoot them all.
Yeah. Melt your barrel.
We drove 100 miles, we
See
see
it.
one cottontail.
Cause you used up your 500 before.
So, that's all set up, Bob is on board to cook the lunch, we're gonna raise the price from 50, even though I said this isn't the year to do it. We're gonna raise it to $65 from 50. That doesn't make a ton of difference, but that's still a bargain by anybody's means. I mean, you get a guided ATV ride, you get a goodie basket of munchies, you get water and Pepsi and Coke or whatever. And then you don't get a cold sack lunch, you get a hot Dutch oven lunch halfway through. And Kent's has always helped us buy the meat for that.
Bob Jex has always done the work, he's bought the meal for quite a few years. We finally got Kemp's to help.
Bob Jackson and his boys hook up the
Yes,
wagon.
finally
And
contacted.
I mean, if you took that ride down in St. George, it'd cost you $300 a piece to make that ride down there. So we're gonna bump that, it only means $375, but if that knocks 2 machines out, we broke even. So
What time do you need people there in the morning?
you know, we're okay. Eldon is great to jump in and help, Roger is great to jump in and help. And really,
Yeah.
all we're doing is checking off names and handing out goodie bags. And as soon as we know we've got everybody on the list checked off, we book it. So, so between the 3 of us,
You got it.
we can check them off, give them their drinks, give them their goodie bag, and then it's trails to Snowville and unload and go ride. I think they chose that because last year's ride was,
Eventful.
was an adventure. We rolled one.
You rolled it.
More of an adventure than we wanted. So,
Went on a Black Diamond Trail somewhere, did you? You got it.
And so when we got down in the parking lot, we left out of Beaver Mountain parking lot at 9 o'clock. We got back to Beaver Mountain parking lot at 8 o'clock that night.
Did you have enough gas in your outfits?
It was getting close.
Not bad.
And when we got off, Eldon said, well, what did we learn from that? And I said, shorter and flatter. So the West Desert is flat. You see a lot of sagebrush, but it's still interesting to ride out there, and they're easy roads. And
When we did the wind tunnel, we met at the fairgrounds, and it was probably the strongest wind I had ever seen. And a lot of those trucks got to Park Valley and said, we don't have enough gas, we're turning around, and they took their machines back home.
yeah.
That was eventful because of the wind and cold. That was great.
Well, that's hard, and you know, we used to do 2, and then we cut the fall one because we only had 7 machines, and then the fall, the hunters are all out and going, and everybody's riding already to see the leaves and the color. But in June, you're not sure where you can get.
Right.
You know, if you head east, the last fall ride we went on was one of the best rides we've been on. We unloaded at the Hardware Ranch and went up over the Bear Lake Lookout, and went over to Randolph Park for lunch, and came all of the way back. But I don't think June 7th you're gonna get across the top of that mountain. So,
That's great, Tom, thanks for all your work.
Yes, thank you. All right, we need,
Excuse me, did you get the flyer into Frank?
Yes,
Because when I s-
Eldon just sent her the flyer and the map.
Okay.
Just
He just wants
yesterday.
to make sure he gets it for his
Uh-huh.
club.
Okay,
Yeah, as soon as she's got them ready, cause I gotta take them out,
I'm
Golden
gonna work on it
Spikes,
tonight.
Golden Spike's gonna sponsor, and Frank May's gonna sponsor, so we get 1,000, we get 500 from each of those, so we get 1,000 in sponsors, and $65 a head for however many show up, so as soon as she gets those flyers done, I'll run them to Golden Spike and to Frank May.
Okay,
Yeah, we were waiting on Roger and Eldon, I've left it up to them, because they're avid riders, they ride all the time, but we were getting.
We're gonna
ready.
get them to do a little more writing this spring to decide for next year, so that I can get it open on time next year. Cause this is really late.
Eldon's been moving houses and
Oh.
selling one house and moving to another house.
we'll let him off the
Okay.
hook for
Yeah.
this time, right?
We'll work on that, but
Okay.
that's where we're at.
Well, we appreciate you and all your efforts. We do need a motion to accept the minutes from the March 5th meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay, we have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Hey, Neil, do you wanna hit us up with financial report?
This is the most exciting part, that actually not.
Okay, it's all good.
Biggest update is that, last board meeting, the, school board decided that we would assume the responsibility for supplies. So the last line for $3,000 for supplies, that expense will be moved over to the school district and then donated to the foundation. So then we can say that 100% of our proceeds go towards supporting foundation missions and objectives.
Perfect.
On that, you can see in the unrestricted revenue line, we have $136,000 available. Of that, 64 is dedicated to student health and wellness. Last time we talked, I think we talked about, that's mainly reserved for supplies for our teen centers when they get built in our high schools.
Right.
I don't have any other updates on the, financials, if there are any questions, but it's pretty bland.
And for the one that goes around with, one of them, when I went in their shop, they said, yeah, we only see you when you got your hand out. Well, yeah, that's probably true. But we've got $71,000 in unrestricted money for us to use however we see fit. On the other page, we approved
76,000.
$25,042.
We haven't gotten to that yet, that's not the correct amount, we have a few questions on that. So we haven't approved that yet. That's for the board to look at, and there were a few questions we had, so that is.
It's suggested.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
yep, so,
Assuming,
and the full 76 is not correct, because we have a few things like the employee donations, some of that goes out to schools, it's not included in this, and so there are a few things out of that
well, be it whatever it is. So it's $30,000, we still got $41,000, whatever that number is. We're taking in more than we're putting out regardless.
In the fall, though, we do another round of teacher donations,
We do.
or requests,
Of
of teacher
grants.
funding requests, so hopefully we get a big chunk of that taken care of in the fall. I don't know,
I just wanna make sure
we're
doing
spending what we get.
yes,
that we're using them. Because I'm telling all of these people, every penny we take in goes back to the teachers and the students in Box Elder County. Nobody's asked me to prove that yet, but
well, I can tell you, let me hurry and pull this up, but I can tell you what we spent last year on teacher funding. We still have a couple that need to come in. because they were spending it in the spring. Well, if it'll hurry and pull up. Whoops, that's this year. In the first round, we spent a little over $33,000, and we still have $4,000 that is to be spent. And then in the second round, we have spent $9,000, a little over $9,000. So we've spent it'll be about $46,000. And then I think we can talk about a couple things with our student health and wellness too. But do we wanna get to that part in the agenda, or
Should we move on?
finish with
Do we need,
the-
let's
we need
finish
to
our
finish with the
financial
financial
report.
report.
Yeah. Any, additional questions for Neil? Okay, so we need someone to.
I'll make the motion
Okay,
to approve the financial report.
we have a motion
I'll second.
and a second, all in favor?
Who was
Aye.
the second? Aye. On that.
Okay,
Okay.
we met as an executive committee and made some recommendations for teacher funding requests. They are included, back in almost to the end of the packet, you can see those. So Marcy, do you wanna update us on any of that information there, or?
Yes, there were a couple, the ones that we didn't approve, they were things that, like there were a few that.
There were lots of headphones that Robert says, in the past has said no to,
Uh-huh.
so.
And then there were some that requested, some curriculum that our school district doesn't support. We have purchased curriculum, and what the teachers want, it isn't supported through the school district. So it's been suggested that that we do not fund those, because it does not correlate with the curriculum that we have purchased. There were a couple
And
that were
Hope
just.
Squad was not,
Yes,
going to
and
be
Hope
being
Squad
anywhere?
is going away, we're changing to a different program. So there were a few that the reasons we said no were because we're changing programs, and these requests did not work with the programs that we are changing to.
or we thought that it could be a capital expense, right?
Yes.
Like some of
Uh-huh.
the things, I can't remember which ones.
And then I did talk to, there were a couple of things that we, Catherine Allen, and there were a couple, that, so Lori Lund at, oh, I didn't print where? Fairver Middle. There is a, okay, I've gotta get there.
It's on the second page.
Okay, so the one that costs $18.60, she said, that is one that would really be helpful. So Lori Lund, the $18.60, it's, Lexia Power Up, which is usually only used in elementary schools, but these are, this is a special ed classroom, and she said it's very helpful in the special ed classrooms. So that would be great if we could approve that, and then I talked to, okay, there were two others, let me find them. Then there was our sites, requested iPads for testing, and we wanted to check to see if that will work, and Catherine said that the testing they do is going online, all of it is, so these iPads are gonna help quite a bit with the testing, and they have purchased the software, so it wouldn't be an extra expense for special ed. And that is Bobby Mags down at the bottom, $13.79. I'm not sure.
But that was for more than one iPad, I can't remember how many, wasn't it?
Yes,
Was it 3?
And I'm not sure if that's the correct price, cause I had asked her to, she said we can get these at Walmart, which our IT department says no.
Right.
So, we might wanna look at that one. Then I talked to Heidi Joe. And so down at Golden Spike, it was, Mallory Surter.
Phonics and first grade.
And she said no to that one, that's not a program we use. And then the Wendy Dunham one, she said yes, that one is, something we use. No, actually, those are exactly the
I was
same.
gonna say they're the same price.
Maybe it was Catherine that said yes. Oh, this one over here. Okay, I'm backwards. I am backwards, I'm sorry. The Mallory Surter and Wendy Dunham were the yes, those would. She said that program, it's the 95% phonics or something. They purchased that only for Title I schools. And so the other schools that would like to use it, the district is not able to purchase that for them. So, that is a very beneficial program. So if we wanted to approve those, but then it's at McKinley, the mystery writing for Heather Horrocks. Heidi Jo said no, we've said that is not a program that our
We support.
curriculum that is supported. So, there are 4 more there.
But the $13.79 on the iPads may be more if they're not looking at the Walmart price.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, any questions on those? Or any of the other projects that you guys? If we don't have any questions, we need a motion to accept the project expenditures with the addition of the 4, with the 4 additional projects.
So moved.
Tiffany had a quick
Oh,
question.
sorry.
I just asked what the essentials under Bear River Middle School, what, it just says essentials, I didn't,
Let me pull that up really quick.
if you already,
Bear River Middle School Essentials.
And who was the,
Haley Gunderson is the teacher.
I think those were, headphones. Oh, that one
Isn't she the sped, isn't
We
she in the
did-
We
functional-
did some of it.
that was the sped.
Yeah, she's the functional, unit.
And there was
teacher.
science curriculum and then some games. But she also asked for a sensory wall, which,
Mhm.
Catherine has said,
Yeah.
that's okay, or she's not special ed, actually.
Oh, she's not?
She's a counselor, isn't she?
No, not
No.
at Bear River Middle, I think
Okay.
she's a functional skills
Oh, okay.
unit teacher.
so it's
But
the
we
wall
said
that
no
was
to the
extras.
sensory wall, the $800
Yeah.
because they said, that's really hard to put in,
Yeah.
and they said, everybody I talked to said, let's not do that.
Okay, so Tom, you wanna make your motion again?
Yeah, on my motion, we accept it and have the 4 we just discussed.
Okay, we have a motion
I second it.
and a second. Any additional concerns?
It's not really a concern, spelling isn't a concern, but just because I have a Kristen Julander and I think this is Kirsten, isn't that the teacher?
What school?
On
Yeah, it
the
is.
ACHI,
Oh, the 3rd one down.
3rd one down, should be Kirsten, not Kristen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just, I imagine that's not that super important, but
It is.
I'm glad you said that, because it is.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed?
Who made the second? Gary?
I second it.
Ken.
Somebody over there, okay. All right, we'll get that rocking and rolling for him, huh?
Yes.
Attached to this is our meeting agenda for, the next school year. So you can add those to your calendar, and Marcy will get us invitations sent out someday in the
I
summer.
will, I'll send out
Not till
calendar
summer.
invitations to everybody, so.
Give her a minute to come up for air. So, okay, let's go around the table and see if there's anything else. Marcy?
Do
Anything?
they have anything?
Tiffany? Linda?
No.
Anything?
Sorry I missed last time, I don't know how I did, but I did.
I did too. So,
I did too. Yeah, no, good.
I just wanna add, when we met as an executive board, some of the things that aren't covered in the funding that we just approved, CTE, is picking up some of those, so
Yeah.
don't feel like those are all just a no. We evaluated those and some of those projects are being picked up by other funds, so.
Well, there's also Nucor grants and there's Walmart that we look at, we
Yep.
take into consideration those. Nucor picks whatever they wanna pick, Walmart, Keith, Heidi, Joe and I pick, about $20,000 to $25,000 worth, we prioritize them. And Walmart's been giving us 18 or
10,000.
10, has
The
it gone
last
down
few
to 10?
years, it
Okay.
has.
So they are getting picked up other places, a good percentage of them.
Yep, they are.
And a couple of these, 2 teachers put in for the same program. They work together, I don't think they realized that both of them put in for the exact same thing.
They wanted to double
their Which-
chances, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Right?
Joy Jones and Melanie Day. Joy Jones usually puts in for the poetry slam and the poetry out loud. And she did, and so did Melanie Day, so that's why
one is funded, one is not.
one is,
Okay,
Thank you.
Gary, anything? Superintendent?
I don't say it often enough, but thanks all of you that are taking time out for the students of Box Elder School District. It's pretty dang cool that, business people are here and retired people who can be enjoying and as much time as Tom puts in and Linda, but it just every once in a while just hits me the great nature of what this whole foundation means, so thank you.
Okay. Neil? Anything?
Glad to be here, first of all, thank you for letting me be part of this, and Linda, I'd be happy to be on your Jubilee Committee
Okay, thank you.
to help you out with that, so we have some experience with
Yeah.
Christmas tree jubilees down there with the Weaver School District.
He was on the Weaver School District Board for 17 years.
Yeah, they've turned that into, and just, let me just say really quickly, when I joined that foundation back in 2006, they were having discussions in the Weaver School District about whether or not it should continue.
Wow.
It was really kind of having a hard time getting any traction and getting any interest and raising money, and the superintendent was like, oh, is it even worth the effort? And, they've worked really hard, and boy, and I know it's a bigger school district, but boy, they really, I think last year they raised over $1 million.
wow.
And have done some great things, and I think over time, you guys have a great little thing going here, and I think there's a lot of potential to reach out to businesses and to keep growing it, and Jubilee will keep getting bigger, and the golf tournament, and I think it's great. Our credit union was started as a school district credit union 90 years ago, and so we love
That's your
helping
thing, yeah.
schools, so anyway, yeah, just happy to be here.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here.
I've said my piece.
Anything?
I'm good, just excited for the golf tournament and the sunny weather that Marcy.
It will be sunny.
Yeah.
It has to be.
I-
We are due.
I brought it back with me from Florida.
Okay.
Well, when I was out
Not
there
quite
taking
that
the
deep.
flyer out, which was about the same time 2 years ago, there was no water in the pond in front of the country club. This time it was clear full.
Well, that's lucky, because it's dry.
Should be drained.
Good. Well, we appreciate everyone, and ultimately, what you do is blesses the lives of kids, and so that's what we have to remember. We just need a motion if there isn't anything else to wrap this up. Or we don't anymore. We don't anymore. We can just end. We used to have to motion it, but, okay. I think, next time we get called together, someone else will be called up here.
El Presidente Nelson.
Yeah, so, thank you, everybody, and have a good summer. Yeah.